Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Oniara, and I talk everything self-mastery, personal development, just everyday life experiences, and how you can take the lessons from those experiences to live a more purposeful, fulfilling, and magical life. Today, I'm here to remind you how one mistake or one slip when you've been working so hard on yourself doesn't erase the 10 steps forward that you've taken. I notice for myself and for my clients, when you've been working so hard on your personal development, when you're very self aware of where you can do better and you're constantly working on being better, when you slip and make like one mistake, like for example, for me, recently I was in this very professional setting and someone asked me something, and instead of being proactive and taking my time to answer, I just blurred out a reaction. It was rude. It was embarrassing. Once I got out of there, it was like, this is so embarrassing. Like, I worked so hard on myself so that I don't show up like this. Why did I show up like that? I was like so mad at myself. And I realized that in these past few weeks, I've been extremely aware of how judgmental or how much pressure I put on myself to be like perfect. So, this is your reminder that we're never going to be perfect. We're all human. We're all working through something. And today I'm going to teach you what I put myself through so that I don't fall into this loop of doubting myself and being in this negativity of, oh my God, I could have done better, but I didn't, or this. For what happens for me is that when I go through these situations where I'm like rude to someone or I react instead of responding, I'm my mind starts going like, oh, but at this point of your life, you should be ahead. You should already be responding. And I start doubting myself. I start doubting my work. I start doubting like the journey I've been through, the improvement that I have done on myself because of this one little mistake. And so lately I've been super aware that one step back doesn't erase the 10 steps forward that I've taken. So, yes, I'm human. I am going to maybe talk rudely to somebody else sometimes and react. And I hope I do get better at that. And I hope that if I do have the chance to see this guy again, I get to apologize for my reaction. And I hope to tell him, remind him that it has nothing to do with him, that it really just had everything to do with me and my reaction. And so, yeah, guys, just a reminder not to be hard on yourself and how to stop that loop, how to stop yourself from going into that loop of like, is it even worth it? Should I even keep going? What's the point if like I'm still going to react? Is in those moments where you have to realize, okay, maybe I have to start learning a new tool to put in my toolkit or learn more about whatever it is that this lesson is bringing to my life. So really it's the work that we have to do for everything. Just use our mind to reprogram our perspective, to reframe our perspective so that we're not stuck in the story that we're telling ourselves. Because in those moments we're telling ourselves that we're not good enough, that the work that we're doing is not good enough, that all the work that we put in all these years because of this one slip and because we look so different to the public eye in this one moment, we think that we've lost all of that. And it's not like that. We're all human. We're all going through our own journey. We're all learning something. We all have if you watched any of my other videos, I've been talking about how I've been taking Kabbalah class. And they talk about how we have this tikkun, which is these kind of this opponent part of ourselves, this force that's kind of bigger than us, that has been put there by God so that we can get closer to the light, so that we can practice our free will to choose the light. And our teacher in Kabbalah class said this is it a metaphor? I don't know, but he said this example of like life is an escalator that's going down, and choosing the light, choosing, not to be reactive and to respond in the way that I want to respond with love, is the work, is choosing to go up while the escalator is going down. That is the spiritual work. to choose the light is the spiritual work. And sometimes it's going to be hard. And this opponent force that was put there really so that we can get closer to the light, so that we can get closer to God, because we were like, okay, God, give me something that I can master in this life, something that I'm going to have to learn. And so this is my thing, communication. Communication is something that I'm really, really good at. And at the same time, I can be really, really bad at it. And I can hurt people and I can make others feel bad. And for me, like in this specific example that I'm talking to you about, this person we had interacted for 2 days. And so for me, my story was that it didn't matter what had happened in these 2 days. This person was only going to remember my rude ass answer and how I made them feel. And this just made me feel so bad. And so, again, this is not the first time in these past few weeks where I've experienced myself feeling this way about myself. Extremely judgmental and just holding myself on a pedestal to be extremely perfect. And that doesn't exist, because if not, I wouldn't need to be here in this human experience. It's through those moments that you get to see that you're human. And my invitation here is to use these as opportunities to see where you still can do your work, when you still can be better, instead of doubting yourself or using it as pressure on yourself for not being where you think you're supposed to be, or responding in the way that you're supposed to be responding at this point in your life. You haven't lost all the progress that you've done just because of one slip, one mistake. And maybe it hasn't been like it was one slip this week and it was one slip last week, and that's okay. It is part of the human experience to have these slips. We are human. We are learning. And it's through those even mistakes that we get to learn what systems do work for us. Consistency is going to look different every day. And consistency is just, even when you go through these moments, just choosing again to stay on track and follow the plan. Giving yourself compassion, giving yourself grace, because you're human, you're going through your experience, and these things are going to happen. You are going to slip. You are going to maybe get out of the way sometimes, stick your nose in the past, come back, and then notice, oh, this is why I chose this path. Okay, yes, let me remember why I keep choosing this path. Let me remember why I keep choosing this path. And in Kabbalah, they talk about how you want to study the opponent. So you want to study this force. So when you do go through these experiences, you want to really study these experiences so you can get to know yourself, so that you can create the systems to behave in the way that you want to behave, to choose the answer or the action and behavior that you want to present for yourself in that moment. So anyway, I hope this served as a reminder. If you have any comments, or if you have anything specific that you're going through in your life and you would like my perspective on it, or just to switch up the perspective on it, because I know that we all need people around us to help us see things differently. I know a big part of this is my friends and my sister. They really, when I'm going through challenging times, they really help me see it in a different way. And when I told my friend about this, she really just sent me a message reminding me like, hey girl, we're human. Like, we're going to go through stuff. And we really can't get stuck on that loop of personal development. I gotta be perfect. Because there's always going to be a better version of yourself. So again, if you need a change in perspective, if I have a story of something I went through similar to that, I would love to share that with you. Please comment it below. Ask me any questions that you might have, or anything that you might want me to talk about specifically. I hope this brought you some value, and make sure to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.